Welcome back to another episode of Who Am I to Judge podcast. I'm Alexis.
And I am Samantha. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
How are you today? We got a fresh cut.
I know. I accidentally cut my hair kind of weird, and then
It looks good.
I was like, I need to just cut all of it off because it just was not savable. So yeah, I cut my hair.
I love it when it's like this, like very buzzed, like black. I just love it. I think it looks really good on you when it's like this short.
Thank you. I know. I do. I am a fan of it as well. It's just so funny. I was telling Dang, I was like, I would have never thought that I would not have any hair.
Be this person.
Yeah, like not have any hair on my head. Like I was looking at pictures and it's just like, wow.
And hair was like a big deal to you. Like I feel like your afro, and then you always had long hair. Like,
yeah, I mean, it was, but I didn't I didn't think about it that much. But I just would have never thought I would be living like this. It's like where I was telling my mom, like, I have less hair than I did when I was born. Like, right? I had more hair than this. So it is a little strange, but
I love it. I love unique hair on people.
It's very freeing.
And it's a statement. I love it.
Yes, it's definitely very freeing. And, it's like, wow, like I think I'm pretty without hair. It's like definitely.
And that's the test, honey. Let me tell you. Are you pretty without hair or with hair? So, how was your day though?
My day was good. It's a rainy day, so I've just been working from home, trying to keep Jupiter occupied since he can't go on his long walks like he usually does. I know. Like sometimes he doesn't mind if it's like drizzling, but like when it's like he's really getting wet, he's like, okay, let's turn it around. So yeah, but it's been good. I've been tired. We just had the Scorpio full moon yesterday, and so I've been up late but also like tired, and yeah, so but I'm cool. How are you?
I'm feeling good. I had my workout class this morning. It's just been a long day. Like I literally worked like all day. Like, when it's like, usually I'm taking a break here and there. I took no breaks today except besides to eat and to go to the workout class because it's just I have a lot of deadlines coming up that like seem very soon and I have a lot to do. So I'm like, let me just like lock in so I can get it over with. And then after that, I immediately had Akila's baby shower meeting. So like I was leading that because now I'm the leader. So I was leading that and calling people and asking questions, yada, 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 making the like itinerary for the day, like for the committee. And now I'm here talking to you. So it's been a crazy day, but my man got me some Oreo cake.
Oh, from where?
I'm happy. Lincoln Market up the street. It's the thought that counts.
What did you eat for dinner? Did you already eat?
Leftover chili. I made chili yesterday, so we had leftover chili. And it's been rainy, so I look crazy. I have like you see my sweatshirt on. Like, I don't care.
Look fine.
But, girl, we got a lot of stuff to talk about today, honey.
We do.
So let's get to it.
Yes. Who's on trial, Alexis?
Diddy is on trial.
Literally and figuratively.
Literally down the street, okay?
I know, Alexis. You could go and watch if you wanted
I could, but I would have to get there at like 4 a.m.
I know. People are getting there like 2.
This is like Cowboy Carter for them, okay?
Right. Maybe like a couple weeks in.
Yeah, when it dies down a little bit. We have just so much to talk about. Like, we have to talk about jury selection. We have to talk about the first day, the second day, what the people have been saying, and just our thoughts on everything, and
the vibe in the room.
Like, we have so much to talk about. But I guess we can talk about just to lay it out, like what is he charged with, and then like just like who's in the jury, and then like the things we've been hearing.
Waiting for this day,
right? So. He has been charged with charges that include sex trafficking, racketeering.
Trigger warning, everybody.
Trigger warning. Sorry,
this episode's about to get there's a
bad.
lot. Yeah.
Sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And so this last week they picked the jury. They picked 8 men and 4 women. So I immediately just hearing that was kind of like scared because I just don't trust men to like be on the side of women when it comes to a man getting accused of. I mean, he's not on trial for like. Well, right. Did I say sexual assault? He's not on trial. He's sex trafficking, racketeering, and but it's just like I just don't ever trust a man to be on the side of a woman initially. What are your thoughts when hearing the makeup of the jury?
It was funny because I was watching Amon Wiggins, shout out to him. He like did coverage on it. I sent it to you, but he was just saying like, you know, like the races of every like you know what everybody's race is and stuff like that. So that was interesting to hear along with their gender. But I mean, yeah, I definitely think like 8 men is a lot. I'm like, I don't know, like I feel like throughout this you'll see that I'm just kind of like, let's see what happens, you know. Like I don't know, but obviously it's not as like women led, and I feel like they, you know, obviously that was purposeful.
And just to like give a little snapshot a little bit more of the jury, like so the first one of the jurors is a 69-year-old man from Manhattan who's an actor and a massage therapist. The second one is a 31-year-old man from Manhattan who's an investment analyst. The next one is a 51-year-old PhD holder who's into molecular biology and neuroscience. The next one is a 30-year-old woman from the Bronx who's a deli clerk. A 42-year-old woman from Manhattan who's a nurse. 41-year-old man from the Bronx who is works in a correctional facility. A 68-year-old man from Westchester County who's retired. And the last 4 are 68-year-old man from who's 68. Also 68-year-old man who's also from Westchester County who's retired. A 43-year-old woman who is a physician assistant. A 39-year-old man from the Bronx who's a social worker. 67-year-old man from who's an analyst, and a 74-year-old woman who works at a treatment coordinator. That is actually really interesting.
Yeah,
because it seems the ages are interesting because they're all 30 and over. There's no one younger, but then also like I'm really intrigued by the professions because I feel like a lot of them are like an analyst,
medical.
Yeah, analyst or like PhD holder, or the other one was investment banker. I feel like that I can see a world where Diddy's people would want those people on the jury because they're very technical, and it's like, technically, is this act illegal? Like, you know, I can see them being they're thinking they're wanting to be very technical, but then it's interesting also having a social worker, a treatment coordinator. Like these are people who work I can see people on like the other side wanting those people because these are people who understand trauma, who understand abuse and mental abuse and feeling like you can't do something and addiction. And so I feel like it's a very interesting makeup, but it is striking that they're mostly men. That is striking to me.
I know, and as old as 78, that's like so interesting.
I know.
This poor lady is about to hear. She's about to hear so much, but
I know that are just, and they're probably hoping for old-fashioned values. Which is
it's so fascinating because I'm just like, I know Diddy's just like these peasants, you know, like these are people that literally like his life is in their hands, and he wouldn't even like think twice about that.
But no, Diddy in his prime would have walked past them like and spit in their face.
Yeah, now he's like putting on the charm.
Let's talk about that. Like, so like Diddy himself, a lot of people have been talking like he's completely gray now. He was in like khakis and a sweater. He's reading the Bible during these days. What are your thoughts? That's crazy.
You know, not surprising that they are trying to like, you know, like what they call it is, you know, political theater. It's like this is like everything is intentional, so they're trying to make this man look wholesome, like a family man,
and old, like feel bad for him. Like apparently he stumbled once. I'm like, boy, please, you can walk.
They call it like you know, like the Bill Cosby effect, like, you know, like trying to get people to feel bad for him. You know, I've heard like Mr. Rogers sweater on. And then reading the Bible is just like, it's just
egregious.
Funny. It's just like over the top. It is also funny, like thinking about like me and Danielle were just like, you know, like to distract himself. He's probably reading these random stories in the Bible. Like, you know, it's just like the Bible is so, I don't know, just random to be reading in this setting. But just very performative.
He's such a narcissist that I believe he's probably reading like what I have tattooed on me, like, for I know the plans I have for you. Yes, it's like he's reading things that is like, God would never put you through anything that you can't handle and shit. Like things that are making it seem like he's about to like
apply to him right now.
Things that make it seem like he's going through like literally like a you know like
he's being wrong.
Exactly, and he's about to be like, you know, a political prisoner who's gonna let up. Like that's the type of things he's reading, and that to me already shows like narcissism. Like, you see yourself as the center, the victim, the like, you know, like this is all happening to you for a greater reason. Like, no, nigga, like you're disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you finally got caught.
And his kids came. I was really shocked by that. His kids came.
Yes, all of his kids have shown up, and including his 3 grown daughters.
They were holding hands walking in, and I was
as well as his like most recent baby mama.
I saw that,
like his mother, which is interesting.
Yeah, I want to talk about that because part of me was just thinking before we get into like, you know, everything that's come out with the trial, like part of me was thinking just like I cannot imagine what is going through his daughter's heads walking in, because it's like they're old enough now where they absolutely know what their father, the rumors, they've heard the rumors, they've probably seen some shady shit. They listened to it
in the courtroom.
They listened to the courtroom, but I'm just saying like prior to walking in the courtroom, they lived with this man. They probably saw some of the shady shit, maybe not fully, but like they probably saw guns in weird places, or were told not to go.
Hear him raise his voice,
right? Hear him, you know, commotion, told not to go into this room or something. And they probably heard the rumors, and they've also probably seen the Cassie tape. And so it's just like I wonder what's going through their minds as they're walking in. And I was thinking like maybe it's just kind of a thing of like, regardless, this is our father and we love him, maybe. But I just am like, I don't know if I would be able to show that level of support for someone that I know at least is capable of very ugly things. I'm not saying he's guilty on this, and I believe he's guilty, but I'm just saying like you're innocent until proven guilty. But it's like, I wonder if I could show that level of support for someone I know is bad.
I first feel like a few things. Like, one, they're very coached, you know, like that's why I said like obviously they've seen the videos, like they're not supposed to be like reacting like this is like their first time seeing or hearing any of this stuff. So it's like I feel like that's one. And then 2, I feel like in terms of them being there, especially the girls, like being 18, I just remember you just go where you're told. Like, you know, like you're still very much like, you know, a kid for real. And it's just like, this is your dad. Like, you know, somebody is telling them what to do in this scenario. Like, I don't think they have much, you know, agency over themselves just yet. I do feel like they're probably just, you know, like they're getting that narrative. They have their grandmother. They're, you know, like I just feel like they don't have anybody that's like maybe really just like, gee, are you sure you want to be in there? If anything, they have their brothers who are like family over everything. Like, this is blood. Like, we got to be strong for dad. And like, even if they don't want him to, you know, like maybe they're like, he's going to do some time, but you know, whatever, like, let's show up to like give his chances to get out earlier. You know, like, I think that they are thinking like that. And
this could be like swaying the jury.
Oh my God, it's a good look. Yeah, it's a good look to see his relationship with his kids. Like they said that he would like look back every so often to like see if they were like okay.
I saw he blew a kiss, and one of the sons gave like the heart back. I'm like,
yeah, and like he did like the heart hands too. So it's just like, you know,
they're acting, honey. Okay?
This is when that girl Brittany said this was like political theater. I'm like, okay, I got it. Everybody's on their P's and Q's.
So the first day, the first witness was a male escort. I can give some in details, but also feel free to share as well. He kind of talked about how he was hired. He didn't know who it was for. He thought it was for a couple $100 that he was going to come and dance. He gets to the hotel room, or residence. I don't remember which one. And who opens the door is Cassie. She's wearing a mask, and she pretty much lets him know right then and there, you're not going to be dancing. This is going to be for a, you're going to basically have sex and kiss, and we'll see where the night goes. And so he walks in the corner, he notices a person in a robe and with a mask on as well, and he knows that to be Diddy in a hat. He understands that person is Diddy
because he talked and
he heard his voice, and he knew that it was Diddy's voice. They then at that point he recognized that Cassie was like on some type of drugs, like she was kind of dazed and kind of out of it. But they went through the, he had sex with Cassie. He talks about the baby oil. Cassie, we'll get into what Cassie said about baby oil, but he talks about the baby oil. And so basically this kind of, and while he's having sex with Cassie, Diddy is masturbating. And so he kind of goes on to say this leads on to like many occurrences with him.
Diddy's directing these.
Yes, things. Diddy's directing him on what to do with Cassie. But this pretty much leads to like he ends up getting contacted many times by Cassie. The code word was black. Whenever he reached different, whatever it was a hotel or a residence, he would say the code word black.
That's his name.
His direct report was always to Cassie. He never was like in direct text messaging with Diddy. And he did. So then he said, one time there was one occurrence where Cassie had left the room. They were about to have sex. The guy then could not continue to get hard. And when Cassie came back, Diddy smacked her across the face and she fell on the ground because he was pissed that she took so long that he like lost his erection. The escort lost his erection. And he said that was the first time he saw Diddy strike Cassie. She was crying. And that, the first time he came, and I think whenever he came, Diddy also always took a picture of his license, and the lawyer did ask like, what did you take that to mean? And he said he took that as a threat, like he was threatening him, like I know everything about you, I have your like like if this were to get out, we know where to locate you, we have your ID number, all those things. And so he said he took that as a threat, which I think is pivotal because it shows that like this isn't just like he used other people. Oh, sorry. And I want to get into that too, because like also he talks about there was like assistants in the room. Diddy security was in the room. Like, it was very much like organized, this wasn't just Diddy. It was a very much his network and his people and his empire were very much in cahoots with what was going on. And allowed it to go on. For example, if they ran out of baby oil, they would go and get baby oil. The drugs were constantly there. He said that, and then he also talked about how Diddy directed him to pee in Cassie's mouth. And so he wanted him to do it in various spurts and not all at once. And so he did pee in Cassie's mouth. And we'll get into what Cassie said about that as well. So any other things that I'm missing about the first male escort who...
I think you've pretty much covered it. Like he was often invited. I do want to say like he did talk about how he ejaculated like inside, like he wanted him to come inside of her on multiple occasions, like without protection. I know that he did say that he started to feel uncomfortable because he didn't know like what her health status was, and he showed his, but he never saw hers.
I think that goes into the like the pressure and the force of this all, where it's like even he thought that he could not, like, you know, he felt he didn't want to come in her, it sounds like, but he did because of the threat of all the things that were happening.
I mean, he had his ID, he had him on camera, like,
and he was in a room with all his fucking cronies. You don't think they're gonna jump his ass? Right. Like, you know, like the threat of violence.
Everybody's probably on, you know, walking on eggshells, you know, Cassie, everybody. And it's just crazy that this was happening.
And so wait, I missed one thing too. Because the lawyer did ask the escort if it seemed like he was the first person that was there, or there had been multiple people that were there prior to him coming. And the the escort did say that he had ran into in the hallway many times other escorts leaving the freak off as he's entering.
Would be like half-used bottles.
There would be half-used bottles of lube, baby oil towels on the floor, and he actually interacted with one of the people and was like, "What are you here for?" He asked them, "What are you here for?" And the person said, "To have sex with Cassie," like to get paid to have sex with Cassie. And he did get paid $4,000 to $6,000 for each time he had sex with Cassie.
Like $400 to $600.
No, it was $400, $600 was what he thought he was going to get. Oh. And then they actually gave him $4,000 because he came in with the guise of, "I'm dancing for $400." The stakes were raised, so they had to pay more. So they were like, "No, you're actually having sex with Cassie. We want your silence." They gave him $4,000 to $6,000.
I feel like he didn't know what he would be getting from
they never
time.
Yes,
you know?
Yes, that is true.
It was just like they would decide.
Can you imagine though? So like now that those things are off with like on the table with like witness one, I was or
two, I think.
Sorry, witness two. Yeah, Cassie's witness one. With the male escort witness, we'll say.
And there was a guy, the security guard also testified, but anyways, keep going.
Can you imagine if you are going thinking you're gonna let's say you're a stripper thinking you're going to like dance, you get to the door, somebody opens it with a mask on. That's like one.
Right. In
lingerie, and then says, "You're not here to dance, you're gonna have sex with me," and there's, you know, he's not going to touch, because I remember she's saying, Cassie said, like, there's not, you don't have to do any gay shit. Like, he's not going to text you. He's just going to watch. Like, what would you, I can't imagine what's going through your head. I feel like I would run away, and then you realize that person's Cassie, like, talking to you. Like,
I mean, I think it's just like, I don't know. Like, first of all, if your escort is just like, is this the first time? You know, like, what I'm saying? Like, this might not be something that's off the table all the time. Cassie's a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
She's walking into
that.
I didn't know. He
said that when he's testifying. Like, she was like, the first thing I noticed was like, it's Cassie, and she's one of the most beautiful people I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, she's beautiful. Like, you're at this huge mansion. It's like, okay, you're about to make some big bucks. Like, you know, he's probably only thinking it's going to be like one time maybe, or, you know, so.
And just like you're walking and you're seeing other people leave and they're like, to have sex with Cassie. Like, you know, and you're walking and there's towels on the floor, baby oil. You walk in and there's another person in a robe with a mask on, and you hear their voice and you realize it's Diddy. Like, the way that I would just be wanting to spill this tea the moment I walk out. Like,
right. But you're scared for your life, like, literally.
Yes. And I mean, one of the escorts that I know that, like, they mentioned one of the escorts who had sex with Cassie did not come back after he saw Diddy strike her, because he was just like, that's where I
think that was him. Yeah. Like, he said apparently what happened with that was that, like, that day that he said he hit her, she ran to him. Diddy wasn't in the room. She was like crying, and they started to have sex again. They like started to like kiss and have sex again. And then Diddy was like watching in the corner, and that was like when he like was like, "Oh no, like I can't do this," you know, and just left.
It's an interesting business. And then Cassie, well, we'll get into Cassie, but one of the things that like I remember her saying was that they would look through, they would put it like they would get people through Craigslist.
Yeah,
and I'm
Craigslist.
Like, how? Like, it's just like, these people are idiots. It's like just this level of criminality. Just literally putting an ad out on Craigslist. Obviously, you don't put it as to what it is, but I'm just saying, like, who knows how many ads right now on Craigslist are like by celebrities just waiting to get, like, you know.
My God. And the thing about it is they're probably not even putting an ad out. They're probably going to look at other people's ads and be like, oh, call them. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're just like fishing for people. So I'm just like thinking about, you know, what the defense, like what angles like they're gonna take. And like, I know people already are I know they've already kind of started to be like, you know, saying that like Cassie like wanted to do this stuff, or like she was like involved. But I guess we can talk about that when we get to Cassie.
Yeah, but I also feel like so like I was just reading this tweet and I was like, this is really it. And it was like, I don't know if you know who Megan Kniff is. She came, yeah. So she was like, the case is about freak offs, but it's also about whether a powerful celebrity's use of his business and employees can elevate sex crimes to organized crime, right? And I feel like that is exactly it. And it's like, when I think about organized crime, I think about the fact that his assistant, security, and Diddy were all systematically working for these freak offs to happen. For example, like taking pictures of people's IDs. We know that's illegal, right? You cannot do that with the intention or the threat behind it that you're going to use it to, you know, do something damaging. And I feel like he kind of set the table of like what was going on in these things, but I feel like Cassie's testimony really, to me, and I mean, there's so many more witnesses to come, but really set the table of how this could look like organized crime. And I don't know if you want to talk, like, if we should now move to Cassie.
Well, before we move to Cassie, I do just want to say that there was one other witness, that
the security guard.
Yes, the security guard at the hotel of the
famous
notorious video of
he's now yes, go ahead. He's now an LAPD officer. I was just gonna say.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. But yeah, so he testified that like he didn't like see what happened, but
he stumbled upon Cassie cowering in the hallway, shaking and cowering, and so he goes up to Cassie. That's when Diddy comes out into the hallway. He's wearing a towel and he's staring at Cassie in like a devilish way, he says.
Oh yeah.
And Diddy basically tells him, you can act like you've seen nothing and I'll give you some money. He refuses the money.
Well, he said that this is where I heard that his lawyer was like, so I think after they get back to the room, they see all of this stuff of like, you know, like you're gonna have to pay for this. And then he gives him the cat, like he like basically what the defense attorney was saying is like, he never said like, I'm gonna bribe you to like not say anything. He just like showed him the cash, and they're like, well, why didn't you think he was like trying to pay for the damages? Like that's what the defense is saying.
Well, we'll see, but we're talking about the testimony. But I mean, I'm just saying
like what the defense, like what they can, like how they're trying to say it, and then they're also saying like I mean, this is Brian Steele. So I was watching the Kent. This is another TikTok guy that's a lawyer, and he's like, Brian Steele is like, you know, just really good at his job, and was just kind of like, well, like a lot of the stuff he didn't write in the report, like in the security
Yes, I was going to get into
that.
Yeah,
like he didn't write in his initial report, and they're like, well, why is it like you didn't remember it then, but now you can remember it now?
Well, do you see that what the person said back? Like the initial report basically was missing all of the things, you know, the things that we now have come out to learn. And the guy said, no, at the time I wrote down exactly what I remembered happening in the incident. So it's just like, to me, it's just like, you can try to pinpoint holes and be like, why didn't you put that? Why didn't you put that? It's like, at the time of the incident, this is what I remembered and I wrote it. Like, you know, period. It's like,
yeah, I guess so. I think there's some holes in there though, but just because like he did have a video, like he took a video of the incident. He showed like his wife, like I will say that his defense was poking holes in that and making it seem a little bit like, like
that's their job. Whatever. Yeah.
That's their job. I'm just saying, because my thing is like, I want a not guilty. I mean, I want a guilty verdict.
I mean, to me, if I'm on the jury, I don't trust police at all. So in my mind, I probably am thinking he probably took that money. But I feel like to me, it does. To me, the testimony of the security guard, whether he put all the details in the whatever. And the thing is not the biggest, the most significant piece of that picture they're painting. The most significant piece to that picture they're painting is the fact that this is someone who was forced to do something. They literally were running out of the hotel, cowering, and people like a security guard were walking through the hallway and found someone cowering. And I feel like the case that they have to show is that this is not consensual. So I feel like the most meaningful point to me,
like kidnapping,
right? This is a crime.
Like, organized crime. They said that Diddy was like that. He told her to leave, and then when the prosecutor came back, she was like, they like played the video twice, and they were like, "Does this look like somebody that is like not wanting them to leave?" You know?
And so that's why I'm saying, like, to me, if I was listening in there, I would be like, okay, even if there is inconsistencies, he is not the red herring of the. He is not the like nail in the coffin for this. He is just building the case that someone was cowering in a hallway, and does that look like somebody who wants to be there? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's more so the thing they're painting. So it's just like, I feel like, I
guess it's just like, again, what they're trying to prove is like a bigger, bigger organization versus like just domestic violence. So it's just like,
and I feel like part of the organized crime is that, especially what they're trying to say with sex trafficking and all these things, is that the person can't leave. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that is what I'm getting from this picture. Someone was running away, and then someone came out, and you caught them looking devilish. And the person then, even if they, in their own 2 feet, stood up and didn't get dragged, that alone paints the tense picture of there's some type of weird mental torture force here.
Did they say that she had a black eye at that time?
No, that wasn't. There was so there's a second tape that they're trying to get into, like, and get into evidence that they can show to the jury of another time when Cassie attempted to leave, and I believe that one has that one. So we haven't seen that one yet.
Gotcha.
So Cassie, anything else you want to say about the security guard or the?
No, I'm just like, it's just interesting.
Do you have any thoughts? Like, what picture is this painting to you?
I mean, to me, it's just like, I 100% like feel like this is he should go down for all of these things. I'm just interested to see the defense, because I feel like, yes, like our prosecutors can tell the story, but it's like, it's truly like the defense trying to convince them that this was consensual and blah blah blah, and so that's going to be interesting.
It'll be interesting, but I also feel like, yes, consensual, but I feel like the other bigger piece is that the people around him were not acting in a manner of like a gang. You know what I'm saying? We're not acting in a manner of like an organized crime gang. And I feel like, so that means, like, for example, I know that they're bringing up like another witness is coming as like one of his assistants, his security guard. Like, so it's just like, if those people paint the picture that they were at the voice of Diddy, told to do X, Y, and Z, that to me already shows the picture that they were acting as an organized crime gang. This infrastructure was operating like as organized crime, like systematically doing things.
Yeah, I think they're doing a good job of setting up, like,
and we haven't gotten to that yet.
They're just setting things up. Yes, exactly. Like, I think like once you start getting into the employees, then it's like, okay, like first is his signed artist. So yeah, let's get into Cassie.
And even just, and the last thing, even I feel like it goes, I mean, it's going to be a couple of weeks of the defense, I'm sure. But it's like, even just like, I feel like them asking the questions to Cassie about like the safes in the house and the guns in the house. Like, this is what organized crimes do. They have like stations where they keep their weapons at every location they go. Like, they're building the case. But yes, let's get to Cassie.
And it's also just intimidation everywhere.
Exactly. So Cassie takes the stand. She talks,
she's 8 months pregnant.
Yes, they're giving her 90-minute sessions and then breaks because
intervals,
of
yes. So she can use the bathroom and take a breath.
She talks about being age 22, and this is initially,
I think she was 19.
So you're right, 19 when she meets Diddy, and by age 21, all of the like freak offs and shit begin. She talks about that he initially kisses her in the bathroom at the VMAs, and this cuts
she
her.
Forcibly kissed her.
He forcibly kissed her. This takes her off guard because she's like, and they asked her, and she says, because he's 17 years older than me. So like, I just love that she said that, because I feel like it's such a dig to these men who like want to go after young girls and we're disgusted by you.
Yes. And it's just like, sorry, I was gonna say something about what she was saying. Sorry, keep going. Don't come back to me.
Yeah. So she says that she immediately goes to a hotel after that and like tells somebody like, oh my God. Like,
I did want to say at this point she is signed to his label for 10 albums.
For 10 albums, yes.
She only will
do one. Yeah.
And she only got paid. She didn't get paid for any of them. But he is his artist at that point is when she kissed him. I think that's important to note.
Yes, he is an executive to her at this point.
Yes,
and boss. So she tells her friend and how like she's not at this point not used to like being
anything
this type of dynamic. This is like
I feel like in a relationship too.
She was in a relationship, but also I was gonna say it really kind of put the picture to me that like, oh, this is an innocent 19-year-old. This is like me and you. Like at 19, I had not had sex. I had not done anything.
Too.
So this is like someone like that, like getting kissed, and you're like, what? So
at 21, like, yeah.
And at 21 too. So this then leads to him like love bombing, them getting very comfortable with each other, him teaching her how to have oral sex. And
when she would go to talk about her album.
Yes, and he would perform oral sex on her. And basically it just again is just going to show like again she's kind of being like, this is so weird because she's a boyfriend and she feels like she has to do these things. And I think again it just puts the picture of like this innocent person getting completely taken advantage of by a person in power. She then starts to say once they got in a relationship, their relationship was characterized by fear, intimidation, abuse, and violence. She said that his mood swings would happen daily.
She would look at him wrong. Like that would be enough to get her hit.
Yeah, she could get hit for many different things. She's gotten black eyes. She's gotten bruises.
Stomped out. Face.
Anytime, like he was in charge of everything. What she wore, how she styled her hair, aka that's why she cut her hair.
Her nails.
Where she went, the party she hosted, her job,
if she could
career,
have a house. He would
anything.
Like love bomb her and gift her with jewelry and cars and stuff, and then would
also
like take them away. Back.
She would also get on punishment. So she taught, and so this was also to me a very organized crime question when the attorney asked her who would take away the jewelry, and she said it was his like assistants and his like the people around him. Like they would come and he would be talking to them. She named names, and they would come and take the jewelry or give it back if she had the access to it. So basically this leads us to the freak off. She basically was having freak offs sometimes for 4 days of the week, to the point where this became a full-time job where she couldn't even produce music.
Yeah, she was like, this was her job.
So she would get on, as far as drugs, she would be on all kinds of drugs. She talked about
ketamine,
ecstasy, cocaine, yes, weed. What else? There were so many more.
Ketamine, mushrooms.
Yeah, mushrooms. And they asked her if she was ever not on it. Like, was she ever sober? She was like, no. Every single freak off, I was under the influence because I did not want to do it. I had to like numb myself. I had to disassociate. She talked about that she would have to engage in sex with these escorts on her period. Yes. There were times where Diddy peed on in her mouth. There were times where other escorts peed in her mouth. They were coming her.
She didn't want that.
She didn't want any of this. She was choking. Yes, and she talked about there would be baby oil, and her words were Diddy wanted her to be glistening. So there was just like she had to lather it on her body all the time.
There was like an inflatable pool of baby oil. Like it's just disgusting.
It's disgusting.
They said they would use like 3 of the huge bottles of baby oil like in one setting.
And that like this would often lead to like violence too. Like if she didn't perform the way he wanted to perform, if like the person didn't finish because of something with Cassie, like she would be hit. She felt that she could not leave. She'd attempted to leave twice. One was that video that we saw, and then there's another one that they're trying to get into evidence of another time a couple years later. later where she attempted to leave one of the freak offs. She also sent an email to Diddy at a point asking, basically implying that she didn't want to do any more freak offs. He then was like, you don't want to do them anymore. And then she at that point feels like intimidated. She's kind of scared and she backpedals, she says. And she's like, kind of backpedals into being like, I guess I do want to do it. I'm just, I'm just too predictable and things like that.
I didn't even hear about that part.
Oh, that was in the transcripts. I read them.
Where's the transcripts at? I was looking for the full ones.
I'll send it to you. She also talked about how Diddy liked her nails, like he liked it white with white French tips. She talked, literally, she's just painting. Oh, and then they asked her if there was ever any time that Diddy handed her a gun. She said yes. One time he told her to put a gun in her bag when they were walking into a club. They asked her if she's ever seen any of the safes. She said, yeah, basically every location they went to of his residence, there was a safe with guns, jewelry, money, tapes, recordings. She pretty much just painted the picture that her, from age 21 until she left Diddy, she was sexually abused, mentally abused. He controlled every aspect of where she was. He bought her a condo. She lived in a condo. He literally had a place, I think, across the street. She said he would ride a golf cart to and from his place to her place. And that's how close he was.
This is when he was with Kim Port, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Which is insane.
And Cassie talked about that too, how like they were like, was Diddy allowed to have sex with other people? And she was like, he did have sex with other people. He would always say, I'm Puff Daddy. And she was insanely jealous by that. And she kind of talked about how like after a while, when they did get in a relationship, she loved him. And like she did all these things because she wanted to make him happy, but also she was scared. And she literally said that she might disappear or worse if she said no or tried to leave or tell anyone. And that she was in cahoots with not just Diddy, but she was also in communications with his assistants, his security guards, and the people that worked for him in relation to all the different crimes that were going on around her and violence that was happening with her. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I'm forgetting that Cassie said. Is there anything else? The thing that really hurt me was that, like, I know that person.
Oh, ew. I did just see this. Sorry.
What?
That he would have her call him Pop Pop. Oh, Pop Pop. Like what she would call her grandfather.
He asked her, what do you call your grandfather? She said Pop Pop. And so he said, call me that. Which to me, it just shows this weird ancestral, like, power abuse thing as well. But I did want to talk about that, where it was like, I really was really triggered by reading, obviously everything, but it's just kind of like, I know that like young person, like that is like me and all of our friends, where it's like we're like pretty girls, and I'm not saying that to be like weird, but it's like, we're attractive people, we're like fun people, we're smart people, and we're like innocent. Like we haven't had like any of these like sexual encounters with people at the age of 19 and 21. And so we really in good faith meet people and we're like, hi. And it's like one of us getting just completely taken advantage of. And and then just being forced into a relationship because you're scared and you're with one of the, I feel like the context matters in the sense that you're with one of the most powerful people in the music industry. Bad, from producing to songs, like we have Bad Boy to TV, to reality TV, to
everything. He is the guy.
He is a muggle, and it's just like, sorry, my bad. And so it's just like you're forced into this relationship with someone who's 17 years older than you. They start hitting you. They're forcing you to have sex. They're drugging you all the time. They're in control of everything from where you live to what you wear to what your career to everything. I can't imagine how she even honestly safely got out. One,
seriously,
but also
it's a miracle
that she's alive. Yeah,
and then they're saying that like they haven't seen each other in 6 years. Wow. Like, I just can't believe that. But yeah,
and she sees him gray, looking old, behind, like in jail.
Yes, and she's having to talk about all this stuff in front of him.
And her
that woman is strong. Okay, this woman is strong, and this is so easy. Like this situation is so incredibly makes so much sense. Like, I'm like, she was that young. First of all, I could see even somebody that is my age like getting into this situation, especially when it comes to survival, money, and for one, you're that young. You have a lot of dreams. You have no idea about this crazy industry that you're getting involved with. You're just trying to, make something happen. Especially back then. It's like you're just coming to New York, trying to do your thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you're just bright lights, innocent, trusting, and just like coming in good faith and hoping people will meet you in that manner.
Right.
And you run into a evil devil.
Yes. Like somebody who is willing to, take advantage of all of those things and completely control your life. Like that is a very easy situation for anybody to get in.
And she talks about how, sorry, this is one thing I wanted to mention. This is on the tape that they're trying to get in the evidence. That there was another time she tried to escape, and this is where organized crime comes in. She runs out the room. Diddy takes a gun and instructs himself, his security guard, and a female employee to come with him to get Cassie. They go and they get Cassie. Okay, they literally drag Cassie back. His employee and his security guard, 2 people that work for the Diddy enterprise. They are working and doing crime with Diddy at the direction of Diddy. So I'm just saying, like, there's certain things that she already is starting to lay out, and I'm sure that they're going to call. I can't imagine that if they bring that into evidence, they're not going to call the female employee to the stand and the security guard to talk about it. But it's just that already to me looks like going from sex crime to an organized systematic crime where you have your assistant also in cahoots working with you to do this thing, your security guard, you're also working. It gets to me where it's hard to say this is strictly sexual assault. This is strictly rape. Sure. This looks like a organized crime,
especially.
And then they had guns with them coming to get you.
Oh my God. The intimidation is on 100. I think it's just so sad that Cassie was in this situation. Like I could just see how easily that is to happen. And just I don't like you said, like her mental health, I do not know how she survived those 10 years. Yeah. Like she's talking about there was days she wouldn't sleep and she would be kept just up on coke and ecstasy, and then have days where you're having to recover from that.
And it's not like, I mean, this is still bad, but it's not like it's just one person you're forced to have sex with. There's a revolving door of escorts coming in for 4 days straight, and you're just fucking them. I mean, I can't imagine like how much pain she's in. God,
she's sore, and then also that she said that Diddy controlled the temperature of the room.
I saw that,
and all of that. So it's just like literally this woman's life is under his control, and I just don't understand really just how she survived that. Like my body would have gave out for sure. Like I cannot sustain on that.
And it made me think about, remember, like right before the Cassie lawsuit dropped against Diddy, he got that award at the BET Awards. Carisha was there with her sign that says "Good job, Poppy," and he thanked, and everybody was making a big deal about how he thanked Kim Porter, but then he also thanked Cassie. And I can't help but to think he knew that was coming. He knew it was on the horizon. He was thinking this was another way of control, where it's like, well, maybe if I like love bomb her now, like sweet talk about how she did she held me down for so many years, that like this could even possibly get to her and manipulate her to not do this thing. It just makes me think little actions like that, because it was on the cusp of it.
Yeah. That was definitely on purpose. And I think that was like her last job, just like you're saying my name of all people and you did all this, and now I have babies and a family, like you're crazy. And I do think it's just like
she's lucky she didn't get pregnant by those
people. God. And that's the other crazy thing. They're talking about, not revealing like her health records. Like she may have, she may have had abortions. Like who knows?
That's a good point.
And I just can't believe that somebody would have that much. First of all, like her health. Like there's so many people, so many like. Being in a pool of baby oil is just not good for your pH.
No bodily autonomy. Like she literally talks about, like, asks her about like piercings. She talks about how every single piercing she's ever gotten, Diddy, it was at the direction of Diddy, and Diddy went with her to get those piercings. Like he controlled what her body, what was on her body. Like, I feel like that's the level we're talking about. Like, when he said you must shave your head, she had to shave her fucking head.
Right.
She got piercings. God knows where he wanted those fucking piercings.
Right.
And it's just, I just can't, like, I can't imagine his son sitting up there, because I saw that the daughters had left during the male escort, are sitting up there and having any respect for their father, hearing how he treats women. Like, I'm just like, this is not like a flex. This is not good. This is not, well, she did it and she's a grown-ass woman. Why would you want a grown-ass woman to do any of this? Even if they wanted to.
And he bought her apartment and then
cars. He bought her
and
everything.
then would stop by unannounced. Like, he was,
because he wanted to make sure she didn't have nobody else.
Terrifying. Yes.
And that was another thing when they I guess they were going through like a little bit of separation. He went to try to find the other person she was dating with guns and his crew.
I mean, that's what they're gonna be talking about with Kid Cudi.
I mean, it's just, to me, it's just like, I mean, honestly, Cassie is very, hopefully her husband is safe, but it's just like, this is disgusting. And I don't even want to like keep harping on like, yes, the sexual crimes are disgusting. It is clear to me that this was a system. This was everyone was in cahoots and they did everything at the direction of Diddy. There were guns involved. There was force and manipulation and mental abuse involved. There were situations where no one thought they could leave.
He wasn't lifting a finger to get anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wasn't lifting a finger to get the people there, to get any of the materials, to do anything. So that takes a lot of people.
When he came in, when the first male escort came in, he said he knew it was Diddy because of Diddy's voice, and Diddy said, "Hi, I'm into exports and imports," and I can't help to think that means of fucking people, sex trafficking. Yes. And that's when he was like, "Okay, this is Diddy."
Ew. And then she said something about like, that his eyes would go dark and like, it was just like another side of him that
because he was high on
seen.
everything.
But also, I'm sorry, like, just being a woman, like, I know that like I have seen a switch in men where it's just like they kind of just aren't there anymore. Yeah, and it's just like, oh shit, like if I told this person to stop, like, would they? And so it's just like, it's just scary for women that just know that, like, just know how that can be. And it's just,
I just feel really, to me, she's making the case, and this is only the beginning. We probably have a couple weeks of the defense with various with various witnesses, with various videos. Diddy, even if he gets not guilty, to me, by the end of the defense's campaign of all the things that have come out about it, his reputation is destroyed. Sure. And how Jaguar, we didn't talk about how Jaguar Wright was there too with security.
I know, with 3 male security guards.
This is her Super Bowl. Okay, like she is
so happy that this is happening. She's like, finally. And I like, if I was somebody like that like knew all this stuff was going on, I would feel the same way.
I agree. I agree.
I would feel the same way. Sorry,
girl.
I just wanted to hug Jupiter, but he doesn't want me to.
Yeah, he's like, get off of me. No. But yeah, it was an eventful couple of days. But I left after reading everything, thinking this is a really dangerous man. It was more like, and he used other people to do his bidding. He obviously was the one, struck Cassie and stuff, but he also used other people to do his bidding and use intimidation. And there was no possible way you can think of consent when drugs are involved and when weapons are involved. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and also just like your livelihood, like,
yes, and your livelihood. You're right.
Like,
you're
all of these things you own,
your shelter,
and
everything.
You also have blackmail. Like, from the beginning of time, it's like,
and she
you're just
said
scared.
That, and she said that she also,
release these release this, ruin her reputation, ruin her career. You know that he can do that because he's P. Diddy. He can blackball you.
Yes.
He can make you disappear and people wouldn't know.
Yes.
You know?
Or people, I mean, I think you're saying all these things right. It's just like, to me, I can't imagine that the jury, but it's not about consent. And I think that's the thing I have to keep getting to. It's like, it's about, is a sex crime at the level of organized crime? Is it racketeering and all those things? And I think right now they're making a strong case. Obviously, the defense is going to poke holes, but I just can't. I can't wait to hear that, because I can't wait to hear how you poke holes to someone's boss saying, "Come with me to get this girl. Bring a gun, and we're getting her." And then you actually do drag her back.
Right.
What is it that you could have said no? Like, or you didn't. But it's like, again, if my boss is holding a fucking gun and is out of their mind and high on drugs, I probably am gonna follow them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna probably not, because they probably might fucking shoot me. You don't know. Like, I just can't imagine that people, what I can think of. But then looking at this jury, it's like, let's see again. We have the oldest man, I think I said, was 78. Was it 78? No, it was 74. No, that's a female. So the oldest female is 74. The oldest man is 68. I would love to know what's going through their minds. I just can't imagine that an almost 70-year-old man is thinking, just putting themselves in that shoes, is thinking that, I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Let's hope that some of these men, like, what we can hope is that maybe one of these men have children, or have people that they care about that are women.
I want to see I'm trying to find something about the race of them. Not that I don't know if that, I mean, race always matters, but I'm curious if it's going to be, I think the gender is more going to be defining.
I can go to try to hear what Amon said.
I'm also just can look it up.
Okay, you look it up.
This is interesting though. Like juror number 2, who's the 68-year-old white man, he is a victim of domestic abuse. Then the juror, like there have interesting things. Like juror number 5, who's a 31-year-old white man, has seen the Cassie video, but he says he's against capital punishment. Wow. I mean, it's just like, I feel like some of them have interesting little things about them where I'm like, oh, like, this is interesting. But whatever. We will keep y'all updated, but also to share our thoughts and continue to share our thoughts. But
yeah, guys, this is gonna be a ride. Like, I am so curious to see how this goes. But yeah, I'm gonna be paying very close attention, because I've just been like, I can't believe this is happening, But yeah, hopefully too, we can maybe have somebody on to talk through all this stuff. I did want to ask you one other question. Did you see that Jamie Foxx, like, allegedly, like, was poisoned?
We'll see if that comes out, but you did tell me that. But we'll see if there's any facts to it.
Like, you should go look into that, because I feel like I want to see if Jamie Foxx actually, like, came out and said that. But anyways, it'll be very interesting. I know they also, last thing, I know there was, like, talks about him going to, like, confront Suge Knight, like, one day.
They talk about that and how he brought a gun, and he also the people,
like,
that
in the middle of a freak off, they like left. Found out that he was there. They were like, all right, we're going to, like, it's just like,
it was like, let's go, everybody got their guns.
He is that volatile that, like, in the middle of a freak off, he could tell everybody stop, and we're going to do who knows what. Right. And everybody just has to go along with it.
And Cassie said she cried and said, don't do anything stupid, but everybody left with the guns and went to do whatever their boss probably told them.
It's just crazy that we're only on day 2. So.
Yeah, and it's just crazy to think how many people are willing to, like, possibly lose their life for Diddy. Like, I'm just thinking, like, I think consent is all around, not just on Cassie, because it's just like, I don't know what I would do in a situation if someone had a gun up to me and was like, and was out of their mind, high on drugs. I don't know if I would also do that. And I think consent, and hopefully these people,
consent goes out the window when you're intimidated.
Exactly. Like, so yeah, I don't know, but this has been so fun.
I mean, I think that it'll be interesting. I just hope, I'm very curious to see the angle of the defense, just because I am hoping that, I just don't want him to get away with this, you know? So I'm just like, please. But we'll keep you guys updated. We literally didn't talk about anything else, but that's okay.
But this was the most juiciest thing, so it's fine.
But you guys make sure you take a look at our website, donate, email us with questions, or if you need advice or just want to hear us talk about something, feel free to donate to our Cash App and PayPal. We are a self-funded podcast, so we love your donations. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Week. Love you guys. Bye. Thank you so much for listening. Remember to email us your discussion topics at whoamitojudgepod@gmail.com. Also, remember to subscribe to Who Am I to Judge podcast on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcasts. If you love us, please rate us and review. And if you don't, leave us alone. Tell a friend to tell a friend. See y'all next week. Bye, friends.